friends, it's Billie and welcome to TLDR, the show where I run down the latest episodes of Session Zero so you can keep up with the chaos. It's time to bring on our players this week. We have Callum Upton, the Bard, Rage Darling, the Barbarian, myself BillieTrixx as the Sorceress, and our favourite DM, Josh Drive-Hayes. Join us every Wednesday on Twitch at 7 PM to explore an endless series of potentially unfortunate events. So let's jump in to episode 2 of TLDR, Origins. Our adventure begins today by Josh taking us back in time to relive the story of how our crew came together. The party is pursuing their first Adventurers Guild certification, which is obviously what every good adventurer needs before heading out into a life of questing. To get their certificate, they must pass 3 deadly tests. Will it end in disaster?
There's the test of physical strength, there's the test of magical understanding, and then there's the test of charisma. Because the Adventurers Guild want people who are strong, who are smart, who are capable, and who are entertaining because you're representing the guild.
Alongside our troublesome trio are also 3 formidable opponents. There's something going on with the letter 3 here today, isn't there? These NPCs are hoping to get their hands on the certificates as well, as there's a limited number to give out. In the lineup is Hack and Slash. You heard that right. A charismatic brute of a barbarian who is loved by the locals. BillieTrixx, the father of our very own Sorceress Trix. And the eccentric Dirk. Not before long, the gang are raising tensions as Sorceress Trix whiffles some wind at Hacken.
Hacken turns to look at you for the first time, taking note of your party. And as he does, a gust of wind kicks up. Some dust in front of him, some grit, it gets into his eyes. It's irritating. Your father simply smirks over at you. Trix.
Rage snorts at a man.
Hey.
That's exactly what your character does.
And it did not get any better as our barbarian is first up in the trials. It's up to Rage to fight a bear to prove her strength, but instead she just played slapsies with it.
You're gonna slap the bear on the face.
Yes. You slap me, I slap him.
It's not effective. It gets the point across that you are not happy, but all the bear has seen is you pretty much walk up to it and just slap it on the face.
And I know what you're thinking, it can't get any worse than this. Luckily, for once you're right, Rage finds some confidence to tell all men what they should do. Sit down.
Sit to the bear, not to Toot.
No, Toot was there. Roll a d20. Toot walks forward. Well, I think we've seen quite...
Good boy.
Sorry, I didn't realise I was... Okay. Very good.
Next up is Sorceress Trix's test, with a few failed rolls and a poor show of duplication techniques. Her father, BillieTrixx, conjures an enormous electrical dragon across the sky, impressing everyone around. To combat the dragon, Sorceress Trixx chooses an interesting technique, to say the least.
What would be more impressive than a massive electrical dragon summoned from the very energy of the sky?
I mean, I am gonna just fly a unsuspecting shaped icicle thing straight into the dragon's butthole so that it explodes.
You're gonna fire an icicle up the dragon's anus.
Yeah.
A childo, if you will.
It's Donovan, Derek, Callum's turn for his trial. And in true bard fashion, the flute is flung and the song is sung.
You can't let Dirk charm Toot, because you know he'll get a better score.
Swiggity swoot, play the flute, do something to mentally manipulate Toot.
To absolutely everybody's surprise, it worked.
I break out into a bit of Space Jam. Are y'all ready for this?
Yeah, from somewhere the beat drops. People don't know how, but just when you're on stage, there's rhythm. Before Dirk can even respond, just poof, pinned. Even Dirk is impressed with what you've just done.
Will any of the party be able to get their Adventurers Guild certificate? Find out. And then, out of absolutely nowhere, a plot twist! Dun, dun, dun!
Behind Dirk, he's looking at a small, ashen-skinned, elvish child, wearing grey rags and medium-length white hair.
Oh no.
Just looking at the floor. He looks up at Toot. I've missed you. Toot steps back several times, dropping the bits of paper that he was carrying and running into the crowd.
Sorceress Trixx, against the advice of those around her, decides to see what the fuck is up with that.
Kneel down and produce a toy. What kind of toy do you wish to create?
It's like mini pop.
You kneel down and you manage to conjure a small spinning top from your hand and you hold it out toward this small ashen child. As soon as you do, you hear a voice in your head. Billy, don't. Step back now. Are you going to ignore the advice? You ignore the advice. And the top, spinning violently, lands in the centre of the crowd, crushing 3 or 4 people to violently spin around. The rapidly rotating wood ripping people's skin off, ripping rags of clothes, smashing through houses, and where there was a crowd, within only a few seconds, there is now a red paste.
Trixx immediately regrets her decision and henceforth resents children. The Beyblade incident of 22 will be forever remembered. Hacken and Rage finally get some bonding time as they decide to dual wield some fists at a child.
Hack and Slash makes some massive fists and stands there, ready to fight. He turns to the crowd and shouts, "Leave now. If he sees you and talks to you, you are dead."
I
Rage,
run
will
over
you-
to Hack and Flash, and I copy his stance, just behind him a little bit.
He looks over and sees you. Brave but foolish. Leave now.
Never.
Impressive.
Callum becomes our saviour of this episode by floating a child.
I'm going to take my flute, run, and just try and bonk the child straight on the head.
Callum, however, walks straight up and just hits the kid on the head with a flute. As you do, runs away.
Oh, good news, everyone.
Josh reveals some epic backstory, which I have a feeling will come to bite us in the arse in another episode.
Many years ago, those 3 explored somewhere they shouldn't, and they incurred the anger of the Ashen Child, and he has hunted them, and he will hunt you.
And against all odds, the party actually managed to get their adventurer's pass, but under one condition: they must forever now be a trio. Together, they are a great combination of strength, charisma, and magic.
Toot holds out a single card and you all go and grab it together. All of you roll a d20 to see who actually gets possession of the Adventurers Guild card. Billy manages to take the card, and from this moment forward, all 3 of you are technically registered to the Adventurers Guild. But you are registered as a group, because it's only collectively that you actually pass the entrance requirements. So all future adventures must be undertaken as a group, or you will fall foul of the law. The adventurer's law.
It's no sick days.
Oh,
No,
I guess we're
even
stuck
in a
together.
fantastical land, the government still has rules and regulations we have to follow.
And you're wondering, where will the next adventure take us?
As fully fledged members of the Adventurers Guild, with a demigod nemesis that may occasionally hunt you down and appear.
You'll have to join me next time to recap episode 3. See you soon!